And keep an eye out for Naomi if she shows.
Hit there.
Okay. This way. Yeah, she did it.
Ready?
We are ready.
All right.
Turn it on. It's okay.
So this is the Municipal Truth and Reconciliation Committee meeting for Tuesday, March the 18th at 11 a.m. here in the council chambers. I shall call this meeting to order, number one. And number two, land acknowledgements. And somebody say this.
We acknowledge that we are the traditional territory of the Lac Seul First Nation within Treaty 3, that many of the people and communities that we serve in Sioux Lookout, traditionally known as Wanani Wangdong, meaning Bay of Sunny Beaches, come from Treaties 5 and 9.
Thank you. All right, number three, the agenda, 3A, introduction of amendments to the agenda. Anybody? No? Okay. And 3B, confirmation of the agenda, moved by Reese, seconded by Joan. All in agreement, show of hands, yes. Okay, number four, declarations of pecuniary interest. Assuming that, okay, there are none. Okay, we'll move on to number five, the adoption of the minutes from February 18th to 2025. So the minutes are attached. Everybody must have reviewed them. Couldn't make the last meeting. Looks like there was the discussion in the looks good. Yeah, okay. All right. So we shall adopt the minutes then from February 18th, moved by say Joan and then Reese. Second. Show of hands, all in favor? Yes. Okay, all in favor. Right. Moving quickly here. Number six, business arising from the minutes. Would anybody like to say anything about these minutes? No. March 21, what's today, March 18th?
Oh, yeah, that's like.
So that's Friday, March 21, okay. I don't know who's doing what. Friendship Center?
We're going there today. So we'll ask.
Oh, yeah, if there's anything going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and I just highlight whatever, I guess, and. Okay, web page is being designed. Cool. So there's not much, there's really nothing arising from the minutes. Delegation presentation and committee presentation. None, nobody there. Okay, number 8, items for discussion. So number 1, working group check-in.
You want to add is that, so me, Eileen, met with Tom Terry again. We're just trying to wait until we get a copy of the traditional names map of like the Lac Seul area, so we can bring that back here. I reached out to a few people They're pretty busy, so I'm hoping that get back to me and hopefully this month. I know that. So Tom, I know that like Jesse Carrier was away at the Yukon Quest for like the dog. So he should be back. So I saw Tom at Fresh Market and I just said, hey, like I messaged Jesse, haven't heard back yet. And the top said, oh, don't worry, he's back. I think he's back this week. He should get back to you.
Yeah, because after the Yukon, there was the other one.
Yeah, there's another thing he was
Yeah,
doing, but I think he's back now.
He's back now, yeah.
Definitely, I think by next meeting, we should have a copy of it, or at least like a scanned copy.
So who has made the map? Where did the map come from?
Tom has a copy of it, and I think Jesse Terry has a copy of it as well. I just asked,
They created the map?
no, like they just have a copy of it. I don't know who created it,
Okay.
but I just said like, can we just like scan it just so that we can see what it looks like and everything, so.
Is this the map that I emailed out to you guys last year that we had a photograph of?
Does it have all
Yeah.
the traditional names on it?
You might have to reflect it in there.
Let me, I might have it in the binder here.
Yeah,
Go ahead and continue and I'll take a quick look and see if it's in here.
The meeting that recent I had was, we had invited Renee Southwind,
mhm.
but she wasn't able to be there at the last minute because she had something to do.
Look at the Olivia, it's a couple pages in. There's 2 pages of map.
Oh, yeah, this one, yeah. Mhm. What's it, this one? I mean, you guys can see it.
Everybody was provided with a copy of that back in November. If you need another copy, I obviously still have it.
I think it was the one that Lax Sewell actually did for their, I think this is just, maybe that's where it came from.
From Laxwell?
Yeah, Tiffany supplied it. I'm not sure 100% where she got it from, but when we were looking at the information about this speaking the truth of the land, whatever the first page is called, the letter that he had written, that was attached to it.
Oh,
So I'm thinking this is probably the one you're talking about.
okay, because like I was picturing, yeah, this one here, yeah.
I can resend it out if you'd like.
Yeah,
Yeah, resend it.
thank you for third on that, thank you.
And that life,
Yeah, I will do that.
that work that Black School did early 2003, 2004, 2005. That Reggie was part of, and it was the history of the Maxwell area.
Now, are we clear on what our vision is for it, the map? Once we,
Yeah, I think that once we get the map, we can, I think the next step in Tom Terry's notes was go over like what traditional names can be incorporated into current locations here in Sioux Lookout. Yeah.
okay.
We also talked about doing maybe an article on the website, maybe can Tim's do an article in
Here.
bulletin about the significance of the local names, because there's history and there's information about the places, like he talked about Country
Mhm.
being the place where the river enters the lake, and there's quite a number of country around. And it might just sound like a name, but it means the place where the river enters the lake or the ocean. And a lot of place names are like that in many languages. So doing something on the significance of names as to what they describe about the land, the geography, what's living there, and also history, maybe what happened there.
Yeah, because it might be interesting if we could do exactly what we did with the banners, but with the map. Like
Oh.
a big copy of it and then get people to purchase it and display it in their organizations.
Mhm.
Just
Good idea.
just to get it, because you see in the reason I'm thinking about that is in Thunder Bay, they have the shipwreck map. And you see it all over the place and it's fascinating. And every time you see it, you stop and invest time in it. So if that map was hung in various organizations around town. And every time you see it, you stop and invest time in it.
Yeah.
And that, the way of recapturing some.
Yeah, we talked about maybe having an information. Way, maybe.
Yeah.
In the park. Maybe a Google park.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And are we planning on having him come to the meeting, or just you guys are just gonna meet with him?
I think we could probably have them come maybe in the future, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what maybe come once the ball starts to get a bit more, yeah.
You know, should I talk about the museum stuff? Shall we? The museum about the new cabinet, or is that somewhere else? Oh, no, the cabinet,
At the Civic Center.
it's next, yeah.
Okay, we'll do the map of place names, future plans to have it displayed some at different places.
Hmm.
And then invite Tom Terry again to come and meet with their TRC committee. Okay. All right, so then we'll move on to number 2, the cabinet at the Friendship Center.
So the Friendship Center has a cabinet that they're donating to us. It's quite nice. And I've talked with Ben and he has a spot for it. So we're gonna try to get it to the airport today. But then we need the rec center to, and my suggestion is that we just let Meredith go through the actual items and pick out what she thinks would be great in the display, rather than us pick from a list on a piece of paper and then her try to find them, and we'll just respect her judgment that she'll find, you know, things that are connected to First Nations or Truth and Reconciliation. It would be interesting if there was stuff on Pelican Falls Residential School. That would be interesting if that exists in the museum. We don't know, right?
You know, Meredith's away for another 10.
Yes, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, so when she returns, she can look at getting us some stuff, and so within the next month, hopefully we can get some stuff back out there. And even we had like the cabinet that we have there, it's a
Mhm.
little full. So
Yeah.
even if we shift a few of the
Stuff, yeah.
items over to the other one. Cause it didn't, like the bottom part, we really packed it in there. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's very full. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and this cabinet is a little bit different where it does have the shelves, but
Yeah,
it has legs
I've seen
and then
that.
a drawer.
I've seen
Yeah.
a picture with you.
Yeah. So,
Looks big.
yeah, and it's in good shape. Doesn't really need any work, just needs locks, and I'll grab locks at Home Hardware.
Hmm. Okay.
What about the idea of having a lunch and learn up there?
Yeah, we should definitely do that once. We'll wait till we get our second cabinet filled, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then do a lunch and learn. And it'd be interesting to see, and we're still on the hunt for the tall cabinet because it would be
Okay.
lovely to get that outfit on display, because it's just such a beautiful piece. So hopefully,
Hmm.
and I did bump into Tim Brody at the book signing,
Oh, wow.
and he's willing to do a story. So he's just been busy. So I gave him your number
Oh.
and my number, and hopefully he's gonna call in the next little bit once he
Yeah.
gets organized.
Okay.
He was pretty excited about it, so.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Add anything? Any questions? All right. So then we'll move on to number 3, the information for motion to council regarding support to make National Day of Truth and Reconciliation a provincial statutory holiday.
You.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna say, this is you asked for this, yeah.
Okay, because I see that it's not going to council this meeting. I thought, would it be going next meeting?
Probably not until May.
Until May, okay.
No, I talked to Brian. We need more information on what it is that you're looking for,
Okay,
because, you know, stat holidays are not determined by municipalities, right? So he wanted to know what exactly it is you're looking for from council, for the TRC, or for other organizations, so that we can figure out how best to address it.
yeah, like it's really just like so Mama asked at the KDMA meeting, because his motion that was presented to Queens Park, failed, because all of the governing parties said no. He just asked that his motion be passed by by a community within his riding, right? So I can build a case, right, to hopefully bring that back to Queens Park. So Red Lake already passed one at their council meeting, that pretty much just said the same thing, that, you know, the township of Red Lake, passed a motion that calling for September 3rd to be a day of observation in the province of Ontario, you know, alongside the federal government, right? So like, I don't think it's anything that has to be too, you know what I mean, like complex or too picky, but something that is along the lines of what Somamakwa MPP, what he brought to Queens Park, but just, you know, on a Sioux Lookout level.
And you basically want this to come from the TRC rather than yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's the thought process, right? Yeah.
To be the TRC, right? So they pass by council, and then we can join Red Lake.
Okay.
So do we need a motion to do that?
Need a motion for me to bring it forward. Like I said, I did talk to Brian and he said, I don't know if the agenda for April is already like too much, or if he doesn't think I can get this through the system within like a week, because everything has to be in the system within a week for the next council meeting,
Yeah.
which is why I think he was thinking May. But I'll let him know what we're talking about if you do the motion, and then we'll see where it goes.
Okay, because I know that we did pass motion at the last meeting, was it
Not for this.
not for this? Okay, I thought we did.
Well, I thought we were gonna get, or you were gonna get a copy of what Red Lake had passed.
Yeah, I did. I
That's
haven't heard back yet. I just emailed like the clerk at redlake.ca and haven't.
You're right, you did actually pass the motion unanimously, but I needed more information to be able to take it, so now I think that's where.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we don't need a motion then. That's good. And everyone's good with that?
Yep.
Good.
Okay. All right, so it'll be taken to the main meeting. Okay, number 4, website update, meeting with IT scheduled.
So I actually ended up having the meeting with IT on Friday.
Mhm.
I told him kind of what it is you guys wanted to see on the website. Without it getting too cluttered, he's trying to come up with something. Because between different events and pictures and things, we also have to make sure that it's staying compliance with accessibility needs. So things like the pictures have to have the descriptive words and things like that. So he is trying to figure out how best to get everything on there without it over cluttering the page and having the information get lost. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to have a little bit more information on the page and maybe even bring like the mock-up or pull it up so everybody can see it. And you can ask for, changes if necessary. I did get your voice clip.
Okay.
It's
perfect.
very quiet, so I'll have to see if Chris can tweak it.
Okay, yeah.
Because it is very quiet. I had to turn my volume completely up to hear it at all.
Mhm.
And normally my computer doesn't have that issue, so I'm thinking it's the clip itself. But I could hear it, so hopefully he can
Yeah, okay.
tweak it.
I can put it into Adobe myself if we wanted, because like it was a video clip that I just put into Adobe Premiere Pro, like the video editing software, made it to an MP3.
Okay,
If you want me, yeah, maybe I could do that in the afternoon. I can just go through it,
okay.
speak the
Well, I
audio.
can see him and
Oh.
see what he says.
Okay.
If he needs something different, I'll reach out. I don't know like how long it'll take him to get to it with all the changes that he's
Yeah.
working on right now, but we'll get there. So I did get the photos from Alien. I did get the photos of the cabinets, and the information there. So I think he's trying to come up with kind of like a carousel for the photo or something,
Okay.
so that people can flip through it without having it just kind of be photos,
Yeah.
right? That you miss the detail behind them and the information.
Yeah. Did he get the photos from the Bannock Bake Off? Did we send those to him?
I don't remember.
So maybe we should send those to you, the Bannock Bake Off and the rocks.
The what?
The Bannock Bake Off
Yeah.
and what was the rock event called?
Video.
Oh,
The roster action?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a video from that of our elder, the elder describing the historical significance of the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris did say we can embed video. It would probably have to be uploaded to YouTube to be able to be embedded into the website. So I don't know if it's already on YouTube. We can potentially like link to it. I'll let him
Put it-
worry about that.
Okay, sounds good.
Technical part. I do want to make sure I'm gonna copy of the video because I don't want to reach out to Brad too.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Number 9. Now we're on to the work plan. Update on,
We have to do event speakers and partners because we have to talk about our gala event.
oh, up there. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. 8, number 5, event speakers and partners. So who would like to start on that?
I can start with the gala event. Like, Alana sort of suggested that we get a community committee to do the gala event. So what are the rules around that, Megan? Like for us to do this gala event, we want to partner with people and work collaboratively together. So how does that work?
So if a community committee was doing it, I believe you would partner the same way you would any other. You'd create a working group and that working group would basically do.
So we want to to create the community group. Can we do that?
I don't know. I will have to look.
Yeah, so figure out that because, I mean, we could, if we had to, we could get someone else to do it, but it would be easier for us to, since it's our vision, to pull together a community event and then they would be able to start. And would we need, before we do that, do we need like, do we need council's approval to even run the event first? Or do we start the community event and then seek council's
So on
suggestions?
your work plan, somewhere. Put it in here somewhere. I did, I put it under build local ships, build partnership relationships, so once council approves your work plan, the TRC awards event is in your work plan, which means that it's already been approved.
But I mean, like in reality, we want this to be a large event, like a larger event. Maybe the first year, like I've run many large events and usually the first year you start small and then you grow, just for logistics reasons. So it would be like, small to medium size event this year. But I mean, we would definitely want more than just the council's commitment, more than just the TRC committee. So would we have to put a motion to council once we get like a plan on what we want from them, or would we just proceed?
I believe you would just proceed as long as it fits within your budget,
Okay.
because it's part of your work plan that's already been approved. So you should just, as far as I understand it, you should be able to just move forward with it. As long as it's in here and approved, you're good.
Okay.
I forget when were we thinking of this?
November, wasn't it?
September, right?
I thought November, didn't you say?
We could probably do it either in October or November.
Yeah, because in September isn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. That's why we
Yeah.
thought the end of October, beginning of November.
Well, Halloween.
Yeah,
And
you
then
don't-
there's nothing in November.
yeah. And you don't want to go to the end of November because then you're getting
No.
too close to Christmas. So maybe the beginning of November.
Beginning to mid.
No, did you guys want to sort of talk about your vision for it or do you want to wait till the committee or?
I would say, okay, say if it's a gala event, then you would want an MC. So that's one thing you would try to look for. You might want some kind of keynote speaker.
And Naomi already suggested that it be the female political prisoner.
Oh,
What's her name? Mrs. Spence. Cecile. Yeah, that's who she suggested.
yeah, Cecilia Big.
Yeah.
She's on the Big Short Lake Council. And she was one of the KI that was sent to jail for 6 months. They went to jail for 6 months to stop the exploration that was going on in their community for mining. So she's like the only female political prisoner in Canada, I guess. That's Naomi's suggestion. Okay, and then during the evening, you would want speakers to introduce. So the mayor, you can
Yeah.
have him introduce.
And would this, in your vision, would it be like a cocktail event, like appies and cocktails, or a full meal?
Hmm.
What do you think?
I guess you could.
we'd have the budget for a full meal.
Do you think?
If we're looking
Yeah.
just to be, just
Yeah.
as starting off event,
So do appies,
Yeah.
appetizers,
and then it kind of creates more of a mingling
yeah,
type
yeah.
environment,
Yeah.
right?
And see, in my vision, that we would charge it, like sell tickets.
So.
Yeah.
Cocktails and what?
Yeah, like appetizers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I
mingle?
mean, could see
Mingle?
what,
Yeah.
if there's a committee, like, can
Yeah.
we see if there's interest from some bigger organizations?
Yeah, like if it's like somewhere like Slam could do it through their food services program, or even Seven Gens or somebody like that. Or even Dick and Nellie's, we'll see.
And then based on this type of event, just because November starts booking up for space, like a date almost has to be picked, like shortly and booked.
And a venue definitely booked. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure the stuff that people book for the holidays is already,
Yeah.
Started,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So
What are we thinking of for venue?
I don't know, I was thinking, could we do it at the Friendship Center? Do you think
Might be
it's
bigger. We need a bigger.
Do you think bigger? So maybe Seven Gens gym?
Yeah, is that what it's called now?
Yeah, Seven Gens, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The gym, a gym
Yeah.
size, yeah.
Yeah, Seven Gens, the gym. And they do have, I don't know how it's working right now, but they do have like a restaurant kitchen.
Okay.
I don't believe that they have a chef on staff, but on their other sites, they run a food culinary program,
Yeah.
which provides food to the community and caters events. And I know that's their vision, but I don't know where they're at with it. But the facilities are there. Maybe not the staffing. So,
Okay.
you know. And then the fashion show and the award.
Yeah.
And it's just like an impromptu fashion show, right?
Sorry, I'm just having a flashback to
Yeah.
a fashion show in Dryden for the fundraising for the hospital.
Yeah.
Yep, never mind.
Yeah.
Can't be.
Sort of like the best dressed type thing for, because there's a lot of interesting right now. There's a big focus on showcasing on a lot of Indigenous fashion, and there's some beautiful Indigenous fashion, and there's some beautiful Indigenous jewelry. And right now, there's quite a few people who are making the Indigenous fashions, even locally and regionally, right? So just to give that an opportunity to be showcased, right? And you do see it's like people are wearing it more and more, and it's very beautiful, and they just want to honor that, right?
I guess we could have drumming right
Yeah.
at the beginning,
Yeah.
then again at the end.
I was at the International Women's Day Gala. And it was the Pelican Falls School Drum Group that
Oh, okay.
did the drum. They were great.
Yeah, well, women drum group
Yeah.
too, I think, some
Yeah.
on or SWAC.
Do they still have it?
I don't know if they still get together, but they used to get together.
Yeah.
And but you could ask.
Yeah.
Hand drumming.
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, the other place, if we can't get the 7 gens, even having it at Pelican Falls School, maybe,
mhm,
if that
Yeah.
would be as a secondary choice. So so first step, I think, is pulling together a committee.
mhm.
So how do you think we should, do you want to take that on, Alana?
Sure, I can do that.
Sign that to Alana. The gala committee.
So were you thinking of having like guest speakers?
Yeah, we just said that, yeah.
Because I'm just thinking, I.
The keynote speaker.
Came here, I was listening to Canada Reads. And one of the books is A Two-Spirit Journey by Mani Chakabe. And she is from Northern Ontario. She grew up around the Ogden area. She lived some time in Winnipeg, but is currently in Thunder Bay. And her book is fascinating, and her story is fascinating. And I don't know whether she'll win, but she's
Yeah.
my top vote. But
Yeah,
anyway, you can see if she'd like to come and
Yeah.
guest speak.
if we can't get Celia Begg as our first choice, but we'll see, yeah. Well, you don't want to have it, the program too long, eh? Like for your
Mhm.
first,
Like just
yeah.
evening.
Yeah.
I wonder how many awards then did we do?
What did you think, like, when you thought of this idea? What was your vision?
I'm just wondering about either categories or if we think about people in the community who are actually doing something, you know?
It would be nice to do categories.
Or we can think of the people.
Yeah, and make a category.
Make a category.
Yeah. And it could evolve and change over time
Yeah.
based on,
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
But that is a good idea to think of so within the committee, you'd almost have to have like maybe 3 people, because the whole committee can't know who the winners are. Just a few people that would
Yeah.
know who the winners, what the
Okay.
awards would be, have awards committee within the committee.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be highly secretive.
And then I think you would, okay, for an awards thing that I see is Esqueo Awards out in Alberta. And those were run by it's like the ONWA, the Ontario Native Women's Association, but it's the Alberta Native Women's, whatever, the provincial one. And they do it in Edmonton and it's huge. I mean, if you look at their website, Esqueo, I think QAO Awards. And they'll post their awards online each year, and it's like lots they give out to youth, to elders, to women that are doing something in their certain areas. And each award is presented by somebody in the community, like the police chief presents this award, or somebody on council will present that award, and business people.
Yeah.
So there's different presenters.
Yeah.
So you bring them out too to this evening.
Yeah.
To be part of it. Organizations like somebody from Slifna could give that award, for health, promoting health or
Yes,
something.
yeah.
Or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's a good way to spread the awareness, with the presenters too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about, that Esqueo Awards. So
That's where your
look at
vision.
it,
Oh, okay.
study it.
Yeah. Okay.
But they've been at it for a long
A
time.
long time. Yeah.
So
Yeah. And it usually takes like probably 3 years. Like, your first year sort of learning, then your
Mhm.
second year is growing, your third year, then your fourth year is like
Yeah.
usually bigger than you can handle.
Yeah.
Usually. And then it has to go smaller again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Music, I guess
Oh,
you
the
would have to
music, that's
think
a good-
about DJ music. PowerPoint, it would be nice to have a PowerPoint and,
Yeah,
you know, when, just as the award is being presented, the PowerPoint would come on and say the category or something, and then it would give a little talk on it, on
Yeah.
that person and their life and, you know, where they started and how they ended
Yeah.
up doing what they're doing. You know, a little bio presentation, I guess.
Yeah.
Something like that, if you really wanted to get into the,
What were you thinking would be the award?
she's gonna have a bunch of different categories.
I know,
Oh, like what should it be?
certificate or something, or
it depends on what they're doing in the community. If they're promoting reconciliation, then that would be one category area. For youth, it might be somebody who's, I don't know, doing something at the high school. If they had um, been the head of organizing their walk, you know, or
Yeah.
an orange shirt day activity, you know, community. Uh, uh, um,
Maybe we could see if we could get some of them organizations to sponsor the.
Yeah,
Yeah, the award, yeah,
awards.
yeah,
that's a good idea.
And it might be nice for, like we talked about, maybe like Jesse Fiddler makes those carved feathers. You know, it could be one of those, right, with it engraved on it, yeah. Yeah,
cool.
something like that, you know.
That's
Don't
what it is.
forget to consider your budget though, and how you're gonna partner to be able to.
Afford the things, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we know.
Just making a reminder, because
Yeah.
between a DJ and an MC and all of, and food and everything, I just wanted to.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Well, hopefully, like my vision would be, because sort of like you guys usually attend the purse auction, don't you? Oh, well, the purse auction in town, when they first started it, they sold tables. So like I would purchase a table, and like Johnny's purchased a table, Morgan Esso purchased a table, like different people purchase tables. And so if you have 10 tables, you only have to sell 10 things. And then those people, I don't know, they would charge the people at their table or if they just invite them. But I think that that is very doable, that we would be able to sell
yeah.
10 tables or 15 tables. Yeah, so you're selling the table, like, let's say, if $25 each times 10, a table is $250. So you approach people and you say, you know, are you interested? Can you purchase a table? So we're not selling 250 tickets. We're only selling, you know,
So many
15 tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you would be responsible to invite the guests that you choose to come to your table, you know, and it has been a very successful approach. And I really think, like, I'm confident that we can sell 15 tables.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And if that's our goal, 15 tables of 10, 150 people the first year, that's a doable. Don't you think that's doable? I think
Yeah.
that's very doable. Yeah.
I think like, yeah, true, like especially in like late October, early November, that's like nothing's happening those 2 months. It sounds like Halloween, like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Right? There's no special events. So people are gonna be like, I want to do something, I want to
Yeah.
have fun, like I wanna, yeah.
And get out.
Yeah, get out.
Dress up
Yeah,
and dress up.
Yeah.
Oh, you have ticket sales, purse auction.
No, there's no purse auction. It's just that's how they do the purse auction.
Oh.
But we could have a little like a little
Auction
auction,
table.
a little auction
I
table.
mean, auction.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea.
All that,
Yeah, they did that at the
Um,
International Women's Day. People brought items.
Silent auction.
mhm.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah,
People got like 5 tickets when they.
yeah, that's a penny auction. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
put the tickets in whatever we wanted. And different people supplied the items.
And sort of the goal is that your fundraising covers your costs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shall we invite partners?
Yeah.
So maybe you need a letter to invite partner to part in this event, TRC Gala in November.
So once we get our committee together and choose a date, then we could work on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
With the partners, and we would actually get them to see if they could pay for some of the food.
Or even sponsor something like, can
Yeah.
you sponsor the drumming? Can you sponsor the
Yeah.
DJ? Can you sponsor
And
you know,
split up the cost.
portion of the food? Can you sponsor? Yeah.
So that's something that if you'd like, if, as long as your work plan goes through tomorrow, I can try and draft it before the next meeting so that you can review it.
Lana, you'll be the committee person?
Yeah.
Subcommittee? or
Lead.
Working.
The lead?
Working good.
Working.
Working group lead?
Now, keep in mind that with the current makeup of the committee, a working group turns into a committee meeting at 3 people.
But if she does if she sets up a community committee,
I'm not 100% sure how that's different, and I
So
will have to ask.
what if this is maybe we're participating, but I convince one of the other organizations to take the lead?
that's,
Then we get around it that way?
yes,
I would believe that's different.
Yeah.
Because that's you partaking in their stuff, right? So
supporting.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So that'll be the plan.
the backup plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
The vision.
Okay. Great. Okay.
To decolonize.
Yeah, but it's not gonna happen today. We're not gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're on to our work plan.
Good. Okay, so, well, I guess we'll just move on to number 9. Update on work completed or in progress, the work plan.
So everybody got a copy of the council report that I'm taking to council tomorrow. It has all of your information. This is what's in the agenda. I just printed my section of it. So you have an idea of what is going. I discussed some of the things that you're looking at, like the building relationships, the updating the TRC portion of the website, the creation of the traditional protocols guide, working on public spaces initiatives, and it's all in the draft. So hopefully, if they have questions, I'll ask them and I'll be able to answer them. And if I'm not able to answer them, someone else will. And then you've got the resolution for the land acknowledgements. And then the updated, so rather than updating the terms of reference, this was the reason it got pulled from the last one, is we're gonna be asking them to rescind the previous ones and implement and adopt the new ones. There's been very minor changes to it above what we discussed, that Brian thought would make it. Something's wait a minute, that's not the right one. Anyway, that's what we have. So this actually has the quorum consisting of 5 members of a majority, and that's the wrong sentence.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna fix that.
Somebody adjusted that. It's just supposed to be shall consist of a majority of the total membership. Somebody stopped out my papers. I'm gonna have to let Brian know this is not what I submitted
Okay.
for the terms of reference.
Hopefully it won't pull from tonight's meeting or tomorrow's meeting because we're waiting for our work plan to be approved so we can do things. Now, didn't we talk about trying to get, I can't remember what came of it, trying to get the land acknowledgement at the council meetings. Did we talk about that? I thought we talked about that.
When we talked about the land acknowledgement, we had said we would be asking for it to be made available for use at municipal meetings and public gatherings when it is appropriate. We didn't talk about mandating it.
Okay, so our first step is to get this approved and then move forward where we would get it said at the.
Yeah, because
That's what you're.
I was gonna ask to have it on the homepage of the website,
Mhm.
and to us to have it at the footer of it, of any like news release or media release, like have it like at the footer of the page.
To have, yeah,
Yeah, because I know that that's what other communities do, that, you know, this community sits on the traditional territory. Whenever there's like a media release or, you know, an official release.
I think you need to have it approved.
approve first
Before
and then,
do
okay,
that.
so that's what we'll do. We'll try to get this approved tomorrow
Yeah,
and then work forward from there.
Worded, what we're actually asking for is that this be used when someone doesn't have one of their own, right?
yeah.
So if we're saying that this is going to be the official one for the town to use, then you're saying this is it, this is the one you're gonna use.
Yeah,
And that opens up an issue where if someone has one that's heartfelt and meaningful of their own, that we're telling them, you can't use that, you have to use ours. And I think that's where that problem is gonna come
Yeah.
in. Does that
I'm
make
fine with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Default if you don't have anything to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but if we're asking to make it mandated to have it at the council meetings or to have it at the bottom of papers or whatever,
Then that's. more-
does that kind of step on that?
No. I don't think so.
I think that,
I don't think we can, I don't think we should mandate it. I sit on a couple other committees and so this is what's happened. So at university specifically, so mandated which is great, don't get me wrong. But at the beginning of every class, first time the students come in the morning, so every class throughout the day, then it just becomes this thing that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, yeah,
Like it's just this rotating
Yes.
thing, so they had to step back and go, we have it, we acknowledge it, but if you've got like 20 classes going on,
yeah.
like,
20.
there's like balance.
Yeah.
So
Once a day might be okay.
having it available, totally fine, but like, yeah, mandating it, and then where do you almost have to have a policy and all these procedures in place, and then it just becomes this thing as opposed to just a respectful acknowledgement, right?
Yeah,
but we want to mandate it for everything. I think the concept, because Darlene mentioned this way at the beginning, way back when, like a year or so ago. Just on the agenda, like we say it here on the agenda of the council meeting.
yeah,
I mean, and it doesn't have to be this one. The person saying it can say whatever they want, right?
yeah.
Just that we put it on the agenda. Do you agree? Do you think that we should do that?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the, like, on all of the committees I sat on, like you call places now, and before you get in, they acknowledge we're on the, and it's awesome, don't get me wrong, like, I love it, but like 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
I'm like, where am I calling?
Yeah,
Like it's become this thing where it's just, this is just what we do, as opposed to, is it really respectful anymore? Or has it just become this list we created of stuff that makes everyone feel better about themselves because we're acknowledging it? Like, do you see where I'm coming
Yeah.
from?
Yeah,
Like, that's my only thing, like, have it available. but like just. I don't know, like after a while, it doesn't mean anything when it's just
Like repeated
a
again.
constant.
Yeah.
Whereas, like if there was like an event that, council was putting on.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do
Awesome, but like, does it need,
think that the mayor is very good
Yeah,
at doing them when they're needed.
for sure,
And
Yeah.
he does it, it's lovely. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does a good job of this.
So maybe a good kind of way to consider it then, instead of asking for it to be mandated, is to encourage, once that book of protocols is out.
Yeah.
Everyone reads it.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And that way they can
Yeah.
determine when it's relevant
Mhm.
and appropriate to use it on their own.
cause if we talk about decolonizing, like when we're going and we're mandating something like, what, we're still doing it,
Mhm, mhm.
right? So just.
Yeah.
That'd be balanced, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said.
I just don't want my kids to roll my eyes when I want them to go, oh,
Yeah.
that's what that means, or,
Mhm.
right?
So is that it for the work plan?
So we're just waiting the meetings tomorrow to get the work plan. Okay.
You'll get that document fixed today.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you post the terms of service, hopefully he'll still let the rest of it go.
Yes.
And then I can bring the terms of service back another time. There's a couple lines that are different, and I'm thinking they attached the bylaw portion to the old one. The updated one I sent in, that was before it was raised.
What difference is this from what you have submitted?
Not incredibly.
Yeah, just a few.
The quorum section is different. It should say a quorum shall consist of a majority of of the active membership. Number 5.2 should say, oh, an annual work plan and budget will be submitted to council annually is required by council rather than treasurer. Those are the two things I see off the bat. So I know for sure this is only a half updated version because I've got the mayor ex officio and that wasn't the updated version. So I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe the last save just did not take in the system. Minor changes though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the other part of that thing was Naomi suggested, she's not here, but hopefully she'll check this. She suggested that we have a 30-minute spot within our meeting for a speaker. And it would be great if we could, maybe make that happen, and or even if she would be interested in making that happen, it would be wonderful.
I think we'd have to wait till she's back.
Yeah, yeah, if we just put it in the minutes and then we'll, yeah. That way we'll know to talk about it when she's there.
I'll add it as an agenda. I
Yeah.
the next one and hopefully she'll be here. Okay.
Be different from like on the agenda second.
It would be that.
But we would have the people, we would have organized the people to do it. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what we want to do. That's what she wants to do. She wants to have where it's the delegate or the delegations and presentations that every meeting we actually have someone show up for only 30 minutes and do a delegation at our meetings. Yeah, yeah. That we make it happen. Yeah.
All right. Anything else? That's about it, eh? The only other thing was for the TRC Gala Memorial for Garnet Anjaneb be included in the first gala, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then that's it. Thing. We wanted a write-up on the I seem to recall when they were saying about the that 215 spot by Tim's. I couldn't really find anything. The only thing I had written up as my notes here, and I'm not sure if I did that in preparation for the interview with Tim Brody, but he wrote an article about that spot. Uh, and I forget when it was, July. I can't remember the date. It was during the pandemic anyway, 2021. So if you look back in the archives in July 2021, I think you'll find it there. So
July 29th.
yeah, 2021. There's a picture of Garnet and the mayor. They're the ones who started that spot. And then we went there later on, Equoic, with t-shirts and just putting the t-shirts all across. And eventually people came and took the t-shirts, but that was okay. We just told them, go ahead, those were left over. But then people started bringing the animals and the shoes.
Yeah.
And then later on, somebody suggested putting all those shoes and toys into the shape of a heart. And we sat there for a week. There was a bunch of us residential school survivors who sat there each day, and people were coming up to us and wanting to talk and wanting to talk about what happened at the Kamloops and what they found, and just the way it was in residential school. Um, So in a way, we were, educating the public, I guess, about what residential school life was like, because some of the ladies who sat there went to Pelican and CJ, in the 50s, and they were talking. I went there in the 70s, so my time was different than when they were in school. So they had different kind of stories. I didn't have much to tell, but you know, but you do experience the other losses, say, with your connection with your family and stuff like that, um, and some of the abuse that went on in the schools. And but anyway, so it was good. And then some people wanted to know what they could do. We just told them, if you're a teacher in school, then teach about these things, talk about them, bring in a speaker. Some people just felt really, bad about the whole thing, and we're telling them, like, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, take action and do something in your community, wherever you're from, and make things happen, Um, so anyway, that's basically what we were telling people at that time, and to do whatever they could. And we took donations for Kamloops, and I think we ended up sending $600 or $700 because people would drop, a loonie or a toonie, and we collected it all, and we sent it to that band. To help with their search. And so some people felt like that they needed to give money and stuff. So um, other than that, that's what happened that time. So, but anyway, I'll send what I have I'll send it in to Megan, I guess, and then yeah, that article. You could take a look at that. But I think that was the write-up for that heart, or I don't know. I don't remember what you wanted it for.
the write-up, we're gonna put it on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You might have enough with Tim Brody's article.
Yeah.
So. And then that picture that Eileen had sent in.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, and I think it was Jeremy McDonald.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name I remember.
Yeah. So I'll try and verify that, so you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible. It's amazing. Just-
It's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's a good photo, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. All right, anybody else have anything to add to this meeting? No? Okay. Our next item is item number 10, the next meeting date, which will be on April 15th, 2025. Hope it's okay. 15th, yeah, that's fine with me.
That's a Tuesday, is it Tuesday?
Yeah, it's on a Tuesday. Yeah.
Sending my regrets for that time of medical appointment in Winnipeg that day.
Okay. Well, item number 11 now, motion to adjourn. Who moves? Lana. And Reese seconds. And all in favor, show of hands. Yep. And we'll see you at the next meeting.